live again. We'll see if that continues to cause issues or not. It says I'm live twice. That's interesting. There's definitely some delay on the live stream, so we'll see how well that works out. Oops. Yeah, it's about a 4-second delay on the stream. Okay. We are back to live. Hopefully it plays nicely, and there's definitely some lag that's going to be happening. I am 6 seconds ahead of the chat for sure. The stream that you guys are seeing is 6 seconds behind when I'm actually doing things, it seems. So, yeah, there's definitely going to be some lag in response time to responding to comments, but for the most part, we should be good now. I took Twitch off as a streaming source, so hypothetically, my computer should be less taxed. Naruto fan, I already answered that question. Trades won't be starting until the bots are back up. I don't have an ETA for that. Hey, no lag, what happened? I turned off the stream, removed Twitch as a streaming source, and then started the stream again. Unfortunately, I can't just stop streaming to one platform or the other right off, so it's kind of a pain, but hopefully we're better off for it now. Good luck with the excruciatingly long hours of hunting indeed. Not Pokemon channel. This one's the bonus disc Jirachi. Or Jirachi bonus disc. So, I don't know if that's better or worse, but that's what we're doing. Yeah, I've made several announcements about the bots and what they're doing and all that stuff, so I do get a little bit peeved when I'm doing non-bot related things and still get bot questions all the time. You think it's better? You'd actually have to play channel for hours to get Jirachi? Oh my gosh, that sounds excruciating. Yeah, the new update kind of sucks for me too, because I would like to be able to do the trade bots, but unfortunately must await Sysbot to be developed. So, I mean, I've always been super thankful to the people over at the Sysbot.net program for making it. If they don't make it, trade bots are done. So that's pretty much all there is to it. Like, I'm fully open that I am at the mercy of a dev team that I am not affiliated with in order to facilitate these trades over here on my YouTube channel, so... I am not a smart enough programmer to do it myself. Oh yeah, absolutely. I will be bringing this Pokemon into home for sure. I have Pokemon Platinum prepped and ready to go to transfer into the Poke Park there. I have Pokemon Black and White almost beaten to where I can utilize those to transfer it into Black and White, and then from there it's pretty simple. This shiny hunt makes even myself yawn quite a bit. Oh no, hopefully it's only the battery that's the issue. Hopefully nothing else fried. Tavon, I would say yes, it's possible, but if you have a Shiny Giratina that has more than 4, it's hacked / generated. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, 5 is still possible, but people aren't going to trade those out lightly. Generation 4 ran rampant with action replay Pokemon. So, like, that's why I actually don't mind doing the bots, and occasionally I'll have Pokemon purists come on and give hate comments on the channel. Your Pokemon aren't legit. Like, unless you caught them yourself, the trades that you got, they're not legit. It's just not going to be a thing. There was way too many teenagers with Pokemon Gold, Silver, Platinum, Diamond, and Pearl. I was one of them that ran around with an action replay and hacked Pokemon into their game because it was fun and cool and we couldn't get the events. Like, yeah. Chances are your Generation 4 Pokemon that got traded to you are genned at the very least. Came back to hang out, huh? Oh, yes, they would. They definitely would let those go through, Tavon. There are ways around their check systems, for sure. Not to mention, like, once you get to Pokemon Sword, Shield, SV, like, you can make Pokemon look like they came from the original game. Like, it is so easy. Let's see what we got here. Not shiny. No surprise there. I love taking 10 minutes per encounter. It's so great. Dang it. Yeah, Tavon, it's possible. It's just highly unlikely. The ability to check for IVs and perfect IVs and all that stuff didn't really exist prior to Gen 8. Like, you could find out if you were diligent about it, but it was a long process that involved doing some math to figure out what your stats were. Yeah, this is definitely more tedious than even Manaphy, I would say. Which, Manaphy is actually the next hunt that I have planned and lined up to do. I actually got a copy of Pokemon Ranger. This one still had its Manaphy egg in it, but I also figured out how to reset the Pokemon Ranger flag to say that the egg was gone. And so I can reload egg after egg after egg from Pokemon Ranger and send it over. So I got 5 eggs that I'm going to be trading back and forth between copies of my Diamond and Pearl game. So we'll trade eggs, hatch them, then trade them to the other game, hatch them, and just keep bouncing them back and forth until I get one that's shiny. Only to get the eggs initially, if I remember correctly, but yeah. No, to trade in general. Yeah, it's a little bit longer, but still doable. Because we're doing like 5 at once. 5 encounters per first gym. And it's pretty easy to get to the first gym. I mean, it takes longer than 5 minutes for sure. You're right, Lagia. The Gimmighoul raids are like paused for now. I don't know how they're going to update when the event officially ends this evening. As long as I am connected to the internet prior to the update going out, I think I'll still be able to host them, but I've never hosted a raid past its date before, so I don't know exactly how they're doing. But I'm going to be ending this around 5 o'clock and starting up the raids again. Yeah, just use Chimchar and wreck everything. And part of the reason why I'm doing this is because I want a legit living dex. And there's very few shiny released Pokemon that we don't have access to get still. Shiny Melmetal. I mean, I ended up getting one of those myself. I can't remember what the event was for it, but I got a shiny Melmetal. Meltan I don't know about. I don't know if you can still get a shiny Meltan. Like, I assume that you can catch a shiny Meltan just by doing that, connecting to Let's Go Pikachu Eevee stuff. Or was the question, I guess, is, was a shiny Meltan an event only, or can you just catch them in the wild without an event running? But I already got, like, a couple legit shiny Celebes, so that one's taken care of. Mew will be obtainable. Deoxys will be obtainable. I already got a shiny Shaman. Got my shiny Celebi. So that puts me at 4th gen. Darkrai is going to be doable. All those guys are going to be doable. 5th generation... I think I have a legit shiny Genesect. That one I'm less sure on. Meloetta has yet to be shiny released. So yeah, up to 5th generation, it's pretty doable. Right. And even then, they did a giveaway for it, so that was cool. Oh, I'm gonna get wrecked. I am not full enough health for this. We're gonna risk it for the biscuit. One day, shiny Victini will be real. It could happen. I hope not. I hope ILCA never touches another Pokemon game again. Lagia is correct. Still missing all of those. Yeah, you can't really verify whether a Pokemon's legit or not unless you're the one that caught it. That's the problem with the internet these days. There's no way to tell if it's legit or not unless you hook it up in a Pokemon tournament, in which case they'll tell you that it's not a legit Pokemon. But if it's legal, they'll still let you use it. Hey, that one only took 7 minutes. We're doing better. So even PKHeX, like, PKHeX changes the surface values of the Pokemon. This is something I've learned recently. PKHeX will change the surface information of the Pokemon so that everything appears legal and appears legit. You're not going to get in any trouble with your online Nintendo account, with playing it in your games, with using it in Pokemon tournaments, because the data says legal, like it's going to work. However, there are some identifiers on the back end that Nintendo, at like the tournaments and on their servers, they still have access to the data on the backside of these Pokemon and generated Pokemon, that they can still tell that it wasn't made in their games. Like, hopefully that makes sense. Like, yes, they can tell that generated Pokemon weren't made in their games by some back-end identifiers, but they have to dive into that and take a look at them and see and analyze on an individual basis. They don't care enough to do that. So the simple answer is you're not going to get in trouble for gen Pokemon as long as they're legal, but Nintendo can tell. Only Kurt does. Yeah, Lagia is familiar with that. Yeah, Mesprit is able to be shiny hunted. Yeah, this is something that I found out from reading some articles / comments from Kurt, one of the PKHeX and Sysbot developers. He's like, yeah, they can tell, but they don't care. There's just back-end identifiers that still stand out, but as long as everything's on the surface is okay, it's fine. Ain't nobody got time to, like, check that crap that much. Okay, buddy, we're gonna go put you down for a nap, because you're asleep. You're gonna reset your Scarlet game? Why on earth would you do that? No, Tavon. If it was 100% gen, there's no guarantee that they would put it at 6 IVs, because again, I have people in my comments asking, hey, can you not make it 6 IVs? Because we don't want it obvious that it is gen. If it has 6 IVs, yeah, it probably is gen, but it can still be gen without 6 IVs. Marie, I will be trading that shiny over to Pokemon Emerald so that I can keep it. He seems to not be happy that I ditched him. Yeah, Renee, this is a legit Shiny Jirachi hunt. I'm using the GameCube, the Game Boy Advance player adapter, Pokemon Sapphire, and a Wii to run the Jirachi bonus disc. Yeah, Coppercoin is crying. He's not happy I ditched him in bed. And even with RNG Reporter, I still can't get shiny Pokemon to match up correctly to even changing some names, Pokemon identifiers, and secret identifiers and trainer IDs. Like I don't even know how to use Pokemon RNG Reporter. Like, that's how complex it is. I hope that I can get lucky like the Cresselia hunt there by Swayze. Like, that would be amazing. Like, if I could get this in under 100, I would be so ecstatic. Tavon, it's not so much that we're focusing on the negatives, it's just we've been around the internet long enough to know that it's naive to think that it's legit. I'm sorry, but I have an entire channel that's now pretty much based on Pokebots in trading away generated Pokemon. It's really, really hard for me to believe that random traded ones are legit. Like, people don't trade those away unless it's for something really, really hard to obtain. Like, for example, if we are trading away a shiny legendary for a shiny Zigzagoon, we'll say, they know it's not legit and they just want to get a more legit Pokemon out of it. What do you mean, what's the goal for the top screen? By Swayze, the top screen is my Pokemon Sapphire game. I have to play it to the point where I get the Pokedex, save it, and then the bottom screen is the Wii U, or I guess the Wii running the GameCube disc that's giving me the Jirachi. So I have to play both of them in tandem with each other in order to get this shiny Pokemon. That is a long, complicated process there, Renee. It is pretty simple for me because I grew up, you know, playing the games and doing this hunt/trade for myself. So it is pretty second nature to me. Exactly, Latin. And even then, I think that Manaphy would be easier to obtain. Yeah, that shiny Mesprit is definitely hacked then, or genned. People ain't gonna be trading a shiny Pokemon for a freaking Koraidon. They can get that easily enough. It's rare by you get one per game, but you can do that indefinitely. Like, you can easily obtain a Koraidon. A rare trade would be another shiny legendary. And Renee, so you need to do this hunt legitly. You need a GameCube and a Game Boy Advance player attachment for the GameCube. It's actually the thing that turns it into a GameCube. Like, the Nintendo GameCube is a rectangular prism in all technicality. Until you get the Game Boy Advance player adapter, then it's a cube. So you need those two items. You need the Game Boy player bonus disc thing to actually run your Game Boy Advance game. And, well, I'm speaking to my setup, so I apologize. To do this legitly, without streaming it, without any of the complicated nonsense, you need a Game Boy Advance. You need a Game Boy Advance cable that connects it to a GameCube. You need your copy of Pokemon Sapphire or Ruby. And you need the Jirachi bonus disc. Those four things you'll be able to do this. The idea is that you play the game on Pokemon Sapphire until you get to the point where you get the Pokedex. You connect it to the GameCube. You load up the Jirachi bonus disc, and you trade yourself, or you give yourself the Jirachi. Check if it's shiny. If it's not, you reset your entire save file. How you get the bonus disc? You shill out $200 on eBay for it. It is not a cheap experience. To stream this, I am in it like $350 some odd or better. I just realized by looking at myself on the stream while drinking this, the letters on this are FK, not FX. Interesting. How much do I get from streaming? For streaming itself, nothing. Like, pennies. If I even monetize the stream while I'm streaming it. Yeah, streaming doesn't pay super well. YouTube watch time, as far as the views after the fact, does. But typically speaking, streaming doesn't get anything unless people are doing super chats. Oh, Latin, that is really lucky. Yeah, it's pretty old school and very, very rare. Yeah, a non-shiny Jirachi is still pretty rare to be legit, so I'm glad they did that for BDSP. That was super, super awesome of them. And videos as far as ad revenue, it depends on how many views they get, obviously. Typically, it's like $3 per 1,000 views, just given a rough ballpark estimate. Historically, my channel doesn't get a lot of revenue from actual watching the videos, because I'm not big like Blaine's. I'm not getting 100,000 views per video. I'm getting maybe 10,000 if I'm extremely lucky, but most of my videos are getting like $2,000, or sorry, 2,000 views. So I get like $6 out of each giveaway video on average, maybe 12 if I'm lucky. So like, it doesn't pay very well. The only reason why I'm able to sustain this and do this is because I have a lot of people that have become YouTube channel members and Discord server members. Like, those are the MVPs that actually help this channel be sustained and time justified. Without them, I probably wouldn't be doing the giveaway videos. To be honest, just, it's really not worth it otherwise. And the channel doesn't grow without them. So that's why there's usually a thank you in every single video for those guys, is because they help keep the channel running. They help keep the Switches running and buying new Switches to mod and help grow the community even further. Yeah, you see some with 22K. That's actually very recently with the home Pokemon, because when those ones were put out, I was one of the only 10 channels that were giving access to Pokemon Home, only Pokemon that could be easily obtained. So that Deontay and whatnot are definitely exceptions to the rule. If you look through January until then, I'm getting like 8,000, 6,000, 4,000, and 3,000, and some of them were even 1,800 views. So it's definitely picked up with the introduction of Pokemon Home a little bit. And some at the very, very, very beginning of Scarlet and Violet did really well, but yeah, it's... YouTube views don't pay the most. That's the simple part of it, but it does all right. Yeah, the video that I'm actually the most proud of is one on my other channel that got 50,000 views at this point, I think. It was at least at 40,000 views, and my channel had like 10 subscribers when I put that out. So I was extremely happy with that result. Unfortunately, that channel wasn't monetized, so I didn't get anything off of it, but it was really cool. Oh yeah, BDSP was good for that, giving us access to shiny hunting Pokemon in this day at a reasonable rate. Like, we can actually obtain those for the most part. I still Manaphy shiny lock, Jirachi's shiny, well, not shiny lock, but, well, I guess, yeah, Manaphy, Mew, and Jirachi were all shiny locked in that game, so it didn't give us access to shiny hunt those, but it did give us shiny hunting access to a good number of Pokemon, which I'm thankful for. I have a channel called Hyrule Monkey, like monkey spelled with a A instead of an E. And it's a Zelda specific channel. And I actually recently monetized that one. But I haven't really done much with it, because I was hoping that Tears of the Kingdom would give me more to go with theory-wise, but it just didn't. Like, it's so weird that I can't connect it to any of the past games really easily. Yeah, 44,000, that seems right. It still hurts me what they did with BDSP, for sure. It is pretty saddening. You know I love Gen 4. Yeah. I love how they said it was a faithful remake. That garbage was anything but faithful. We're gonna do a faithful remake. Make it exactly like it was. And then they went with the chibi art style. Not faithful. Kind of. They slaughtered the ability to shiny hunt Manaphy. Not faithful. A. Peterson, yes, it really does look like another timeline reboot. And I think that it's a reboot in a way. The only thing that I can use to rationalize that as part of the main Zelda timelines is that it takes place so far after everything that Hyrule got destroyed and Rauru had to come in as king and redo everything. But it's almost told in a way that suggests that Rauru, that king, was the namesake for the original sage Rauru. So I don't know. Jesse, I sure wish you could too. Like, that would be amazing. That's also a lot to donate, so yeah, I would never expect that in 1,000 years, but anything is awesome, so. ILCA ruined Diamond and Pearl's legacy. A little bit. Yes. Kind of. Marie, the only problem I see with Tears of the Kingdom existing either before Skyward Sword or immediately after Skyward Sword is the fact that Ganon is a Gerudo king. Now, there is some miscommunication, and I recently had this corrected for me. Urbosa says a line that has to be taken as canon in Breath of the Wild. It may be one of the DLC with the Champion's Ballad, but she says a line that there has not been a Gerudo king since this particular Demon King. So the Ganon from Tears of the Kingdom is the last Gerudo king. And Urbosa mentions that. According to Gerudo history, he is the last male that was made king, and that was well over 10,000 plus years ago. If Ocarina of Time happens in between the events of Tears of the Kingdom's backstory and Breath of the Wild, that Ganon couldn't exist. Not because there currently is one being sealed, but because he would have been a Gerudo king. And that's just not possible according to in-game lore that has to be taken as canon. Like, Sonia is obviously a descendant of the goddess. She's not named Zelda for one reason or another, but Sonia is very obviously a descendant of the goddess. So it has to have happened after Skyward Sword sometime, and we don't know a whole lot about the foundation and founding of Hyrule. It could be that the Skyloftians came down and they established, you know, their kingdom, or, you know, the town of Hyrule, but then Rauru came as, you know, a godlike entity almost, and said, okay, we're going to unite Hyrule as a kingdom and bring in the Gorons, the Zora, and all of that sometime before Ocarina of Time, but the events just don't line up unless this is to be taken into the split timeline that probably happened at the time of Skyward Sword, because those events created a split timeline. Well, Marie, we have to assume that she was, because this Ganon is very obviously not the Ocarina of Time Ganon like we first theorized. It was originally theorized that... oh, wait, I didn't do that right. It was originally theorized in Zelda that the Ganondorf that was Calamity Ganon was the one from Ocarina of Time. However, the pre-story to Tears of the Kingdom tells us that's not the case. Dang it. The only way, this kind of just came to me, and I have to do a lot more research on it myself. The only way for Tears of the Kingdom to take place in any one of the timelines without a lot of shenanigans is for it to be the Fallen Hero timeline. Kind of. It would have to have happened differently. But even then, that Ganon never went after the Triforce. So it seems to be a different continuity entirely. Because he goes after the secret Zonai Stones instead of the Triforce. Well, thank you for considering it, Jesse, at the very least. That's still awesome. Gosh dang it. I am so bad at resetting the game this time around. We've been going like nigh on an hour, and I've got 5 encounters down. That's sad. 6. Got 6 encounters down. No red Jirachi. I just want the little sweet red dreaming baby. Jax? That's pretty cool. That's a good name. Oh my gosh, I hate the Psychic Gym challenge. I wish they would stop doing gym challenges altogether. Like, I thought that it was a much better idea to have the 2D style games. Like, if... I know why they did the gym challenges. It's because they're trying to incorporate the 2D style of the gym challenge, like, to get to the gym leader inside a 3D game, and it just comes off super artificial and fake and really, really annoying. Whereas the 2D ones, you know, it made sense because they were maze-like to begin with, and it just added a little fun to the entire gym. And if you don't do this maze right, you have trainers to battle. That was your punishment for failing the maze, and I was like, that's cool. I like that idea. But the 3D application of it, it just comes off really forced and really cheesy. Oh yeah. Absolutely can do find and hunt Shiny Arceus. When you can rock up to the gym leader with a level 10 Bulbasaur or whatever, and you have a level 40 Charizard, yes, we are being punished by the gym for not being smart enough to pass its maze. Yep, let's roll an olive around for 5 minutes trying to get it into a basket. But if you fight this trainer, you can get a shortcut. Too bad the trainer animation takes longer than the long route. Honestly, how I've been getting through my, in order to host raids on the raid bot, I have to have a 100% complete save file. So, like, I started the save file, opened it up in PKHeX, put all my Pokemon at level 100, and gave myself every item and unlocked every, you know, fast travel point and all that stuff. And it still took me, like, a good 6 to 8 hours to go through the game to beat it just because of the cutscenes. Just because of how long the battle animations take and stupid crap like that. Like, I was just flying to each location and battling everything, and it still took me that long to get through it. With level 100 Pokemon that never fainted and never saw defeat. It's absurd. Shadow Wolfman, thanks for subscribing. For once, I feel like it wasn't because of the bot giveaways. Since they're all down right now. I have not shiny hunted the Sinnoh Lake Trio. Because, here's the thing, Tavon. If I shiny hunt the Lake Trio, I have to do Mesprit. My OCD will prevent me from not doing it. And I am terrified to shiny hunt Mesprit. Because of how easy Cresselia was, I don't want to do Mesprit at all. That just does not sound fun to me. It is such a pain. Albeit, it is easier and less time consuming than this one, but it is a similar venture in time taken to do so. Oh, Angle, you can bet your bottom dollar that if I shiny hunt Mesprit, I ain't fooling around with Pokeballs. It's a Master Ball 100%. Yeah, we don't want that lag. Yeah, we don't need that in our life. I don't care if Mesprit runs, like, that's the least of my worries. Because once you encounter shiny Mesprit, it is always going to be shiny. It doesn't matter. And same with Cresselia. What the problem is that its shiny is determined when you first encounter it on the island. So you have to go to its home. In Cresselia's case, you have to go to, like, Crescent Moon Island. Save before you talk to Cresselia. Talk to Cresselia, it is generated whether it's going to be shiny or not. And then you have to go hunt the stupid thing down just to find out it's not shiny. And that could take 5 minutes a piece just to hunt it down. There is a trick to doing it easier, but it's still an annoying pain in the butt. But once you find it shiny, it's child's play to catch it. Like, that's not the problem. Lagia, we don't talk about Shiny Shaman. That sucked. That was the most excruciating shiny hunt I've done to date, and it wasn't even because of the numbers. It was because of the method swapping. It just mentally messed me up. Yeah, Naruto fan, you can get Shiny Shaman. Well, you could get it. I don't think you can anymore. Hey, that's a good start there. Good idea to check its validity that way. There, Tavon. Because to get shiny, Shaman or Shaman in general, you had to play BDSP and get an event ticket before the event ran out. And that event has long since passed. Same with Darkrai. Same way, Naruto fan. BDSP, you had to get the event ticket, or I guess the hotel key, to open it up prior to the event. I still have those on my copy of the save files. I'm terrified to go and do Darkrai. Or not Darkrai, Mesprit. Once I get Mesprit out of the way, the other Lake Trios, the other two, Azelf and Yuxi, will be super easy. I just don't want to start with them because then I'm like going to be hellbound on getting Mesprit because my OCD just can't handle not having the trio. That's why, since I did Dialga, I had to do Palkia. And I have Darkrai and Arceus all ready to go. I have more shiny hunts lined up than I have time to do them. See, my problem is I want to be able to stream the shiny hunts that I do, or at the very least record them, and that requires some very, very specific, hard-to-get conditions for me to be able to shiny hunt. I'm a little bit better at it now because my son can, you know, sit in my lap, he can crawl around, he can play, and isn't as needy. I don't have to get up like every hour on the hour to feed him and all that stuff, so it's becoming a little bit easier. My wife is working the evenings now, so I usually have evenings that I can shiny hunt, or, you know, at the very least stream or make videos. So, oh, thank you, Jason. I'm sure that should be popping up on the stream at some point. Yeah, there it is. Jason Reardon, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, so it's still possible for you to get Shaman and Darkrai if you have enough money. You need to buy Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. You have to beat the game and have that beaten save file on your copy or on your Nintendo Switch, and then play Pokemon Legends Arceus. And at that point, when you get towards the end game, you'll be able to catch Shaman and Darkrai in their respective areas. Also, if you beat Pokemon Legends Arceus, that is how you get the Azure Flute in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl by having a complete Arceus save file on your Nintendo Switch and then playing BDSP. Yeah, not shiny huntable in Legends Arceus. Yeah, to get shiny Darkrai and Shaman, you're kind of SOL right now. No, Red Boy. Yeah, it's absurd how easy it is to catch legendaries in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Oh, shoot! Jason Reardon with another one. Thank you so much. Like seeing Heshtiu dance that much. That was awesome. Thank you. I love Heshtiu. He's so fun. Especially in Age of Calamity. He's great. You still need to finish that perfect dex in Arceus. You're like 233 out of 242. Man, you're so much further ahead of that than I am. I'm stuck at like... I think I'm at Lopunny. Banerian Lopunny is the number I'm working on for the perfect dex, I believe. I haven't even made it out of the, like, Obsidian Wastelands in the Pokedex. It is so exhausting trying to get 100% on Legends Arceus dex. And it doesn't even do anything for you. I just wanted to do it for the fun of it, but then it stopped being fun. You're only missing the Legends. Yep. Best of luck, Naruto fan. Hopefully you get that shiny Arceus you're after. I think I actually might have most of the legendaries done because I didn't go in dex order necessarily. But, D. Derek's, to answer your question, I am not using the corruption method. I am doing this on original hardware, not on a ROM or anything like that. Jason, you're lazy to perfect Arceus, using the moves and swapping all those Pokemon. It is really tedious. Yes, I completely agree. Use this move 40 times. Use this move 20 times. Use a strong move 20 times. Yeah, and hopefully you have your save files loaded up there, Naruto fan, because... unfortunately, it's very possible for you to lose all of your save files for your Pokemon games. Dang, that is some crazy luck there. 3 shiny Sneasels in 1 spawn. That's epic. Well, Naruto fan, your Pokemon save files, by default, are stored on your Nintendo Switch. So it's entirely possible that they're not uploaded to the cloud, so if you can't get your original Switch to turn on, it's going to be very difficult to swap your Switch profile over with your saves. Like, you can get your Nintendo Switch profile on your other Switch, no problem. But if your Switch is too dead to send the save data over, that's a problem. I'm not entirely sure I want to corrupt my save data, though, because that can have unintended consequences later, such as you find the shiny, but your save file doesn't register it properly. And we don't want that for sure. Like, obviously people have done so. They've shiny hunted it and whatnot, but I am familiar with that data corruption method, and it can prevent you from trading it in some cases, and certainly can prevent you from being able to upload it into the Pokepark for Generation 4. But it sure is useful to cut down on the time taken. Yeah, I don't have backup save data, though. Like, I don't have a way right at this moment to back up my save data on my cartridge to begin with. I don't have the R4 capture card. What is your ACE abbreviated for there, Lagia? But how do you access that? Arbitrary code execution? Yeah, the purpose of this is to do a legit shiny hunt and be one of the 9 people recorded doing so. Because to date, I think there's only 8 that are verified. Hopefully they can fix it for you. Like I said, water in the Switch can be problematic, since its first port of entry isn't the battery, usually. Ah, gotcha there, Lagia. Yeah, I also never was really good at getting glitches to execute properly. Pikyon? That, I don't even know how to say that name. Pikyon? Pikyon? You know what? That makes more sense. By deleting the normal save data and shutting down the Game Boy while it's deleting. Ah. Yeah, I don't think I've ever intentionally corrupted my save data before. I do wonder how the bonus discs decide which of the Jirachi it's going to give you out of like the 65 some odd thousand of them. Naruto fan got water on his Switch and it stopped working after that. Which I had a buddy that spilt water and it went into their heatsink, and that was no bueno. Oh no, you're good. I was able to pick out what you said. Yeah. I mean, I was able to get my buddy's Switch to start working again. After tearing it apart, disconnecting everything, and then reconnecting everything, and, you know, altering a few other things. But, yeah, it's not easy to work with. Like, it's not just a dead battery. Usually it's a fried motherboard. Tavon, I have actually not heard of the cute charm glitch. What time is it? 3? I forgot to get this one ready. Yeah, it all depends on what happened. Like, if you can plug it into the wall and you can press the power button and the backlight comes on, you might be okay. Okay, we got a sad baby boy. Alright, he has food. He's still in bed. We should be good to go. Let's see. Well, that's a lot of chat I missed. Let's see. I actually have a extra heatsink lying around here. Unfortunately, that's not going to do you much good, Naruto fan, but I have a heatsink and fan I need to swap into another Switch. The 13th bot I recently purchased has a weird tick in its fan that really bothers me. And like after I bought it from the guy, I got a message like a few hours later. He's like, "Hey, is the Switch working okay for you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean it's working fine. I modded it, you know. Took me about 5 minutes to get that sucker modded and playing it, but gosh dang, this fan is super annoying." So I think like at some point he had it apart and the fan wasn't working quite right for him. I did inspect the screws, and it does appear that they have been removed from the Switch at some point. I mean, if it gets hot, that means at least power's running to it. Yeah, when you first turn on the Switch, there should be a black screen, or it should appear gray with a white light, kind of soft light around the edges, and that's the backlight. That needs to be turning on for there to be any real hope. So far, the best part about this stream is I'm not using my Switch, so I don't have to worry about getting my controller greasy. So I can eat while doing it. Like, I know for a fact that some Doritos isn't going to ruin a GameCube controller, because these things are like nigh on indestructible. Unless you let your dog chew on them, or you're a small child, you're going to be okay. Shoot, if you sneeze on a Switch Joy-Con, it's going to have drift. Maybe I'll get out my copy of Pokemon Ruby and see if I can corrupt its save data. Not me already forgetting how to say Picoon. I think I might have a pair of those Hori controllers somewhere around here. Thing is, I've bought a lot of Switches, and they almost always come with extra stuff because there are people just selling their Switch entirely. So I have like probably 7 Switch cases that I'll never use. Some extra... Yeah, I got those extra Hori gaming controllers. I don't play in handheld mode a whole lot. I usually play with my Switch Pro controller. Because I'm usually like on here doing shiny hunts and stuff. There's something endearing about the pixel art for the trainers in these generations. Oh, and I also like how if you choose Mudkip, May savagely destroys you. Particularly at the battle underneath the Mauville Bridge for like the cycling road. That battle from Slayport to Mauville, she just wrecks you. Without mercy. Her Groove Oil is a freaking beast. The entire bottom of Paldea is complete. That's good. You'd probably be best Googling that, man. I think the only thing missing from this stream is a box of zebra cakes. Like, back in the day, when I was actually playing through this generation with Pokemon Coliseum especially, always had like a cream soda, root beer, Pepsi, or even a raspberry cream soda. Masa Nay Colors, thank you for subscribing. And I would always just be playing through this game, summer vacation, not doing a dang thing, like playing it way too late into the night, and eating zebra cakes and drinking a Pepsi, Mountain Dew, or usually a raspberry cream soda. Whoa, we've almost got 10 encounters down. Only took an hour and a half. Just barely get moved into town and Mom's already sending me to my room. What did I do? I gotta ride in the back of the truck with the boxes while the Pokemon rode up front. I think the thing that annoys me about Scarlet and Violet, and more particularly Sword and Shield, is you spend more time watching the game than you do playing the game sometimes. Like, I do miss the just go through the story for the gyms, complete the Pokedex at your leisure type experience that the older games had. Well, I do think that he's officially ready to be up. I think his bottle stopped tying him over. It's like a playable movie. Absolutely, you right there, Jason. It is like a playable movie. I've been thinking really hard about going through all of my Pokemon games to complete the Pokedex and just not transferring them into home, just leaving them on the save file. Because it bothers me immensely that we have to pay for a Pokemon home service to keep our Pokemon. Because we got lured into it at the 3DS era. They're like, oh yeah, it'll be great. Transfer your Pokemon, store them all in one location. Well, now you can't get to some of them. And now you have to keep paying a paywall to keep them stored here. The good news is they don't, like... they don't delete your Pokemon if you don't pay for Pokemon Home. They just don't give you access to them. But it really bothers me. So they're like, yeah, let's store all your Pokemon in here. But now we have no way to get them all out. Like, even at best on Scarlet and Violet, there are still, I think, 59 Pokemon or so, somewhere around that area, that still aren't on the Switch. And, like, even after Scarlet and Violet gets its DLC. It's only 14? That's better. And they're mostly from 5th gen, if my memory serves right. Because generations 1 through 4 all are. Most of 7, all of 8, of course. 9, obviously. So it's really between like 5, 6, and 7 that aren't on Switch, and I think most of them reside in 5. Elemental Monkeys, Sneevee Line, Zeebstrika, Ducket, and Boar Furfrou. Yeah, mostly Gen 5. With the random Gen 6 Pokemon. Surely they got to add those. Like, there's no way they're just going to leave 14 Pokemon off, right? I think their hesitancy to put them all on one deal, though, is going to be, if they do, there's absolutely no reason why the last Pokemon Switch game can't have every Pokemon available in it, because they're already on the Switch in some way, shape, or form. Like, come on, you're telling me a dev team can't put the time into making a 100% complete Pokemon game with a 100% Nat Dex, but a group of fans can? That's absurd. Yeah, if your online expires, your save files are still there. They just won't let you have access to them until you pay. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm just extremely hopeful that the next Pokemon game will be on the Nintendo Switch. I don't think there will be another generation, but there will definitely be a remake, I'm sure. Gen 5 remake's gotta be coming to Switch at some point. Generation 10 still could be on the Switch. I think the Switch has probably about 3.5 to 4 years of life left if the devs at Nintendo have spoken accurately. So it is definitely possible that the Switch could have Gen 10 on it, but I would expect to see it on the new console. Nintendo's just not in a super big hurry to make a new console, because this is their all-time best-selling console, and their IP all works on it extremely well, so there's really no reason for them to make a new console. Like, most of their money is made from in-house, their own first-party IPO, so if they can just keep selling that, that's all they care about, really. But, like, right now, if they make a game on the Switch that runs on it just fine, like, one, they have their hugest fan base ever that they can sell that game to. And they do have a really bad history of having a great console, having a flop, having a great console, having a flop. Really, the best thing for them to do, I think, for the next console is to make it the Switch 2. Like, double or triple the performance power of it, but still keep its same handheld gimmick, and obviously, you know, improve the Joy-Con, because we all know how terrible that is. Not necessarily they're a Naruto fan. Like, it entirely depends on if you have your save files already on your Switch Online. Like, some of my save files don't back up to online. I had thought Pokemon was one of them, but I think I just learned the other day that you can save your game to the cloud. Well, we officially got 10 encounters out of the stream today. Dang it. That's kind of what I thought. Like, it can be backed up, it just doesn't do so automatically. I will double check on mine. Because I also need to connect to the internet and get that shiny Arcanine code while it's still a thing. You did to the cloud? That's good. Then at least you won't be too far off. Oh, home automatically updates. Pokemon Home's fine. Alright, what is that special Arcanine code I have saved somewhere? Right there. PAULEU1C win. Well, that was the easiest Arcanine shiny hunt I've ever done. Oh, yes, I forgot about that. That is so much faster than talking to the Poke Shop guy. Somebody broke into our house! How dare you! You know, just strange kid, walks into your house, teenage in approximate age. Yeah, just go up to my daughter's room. She's up there. She's fine. Interesting world they lived in back then. That is terrible luck there, Angle 1Z. It's like, got two shinies, they're both males. Like, dang it, come on. Yeah, I think I might have a shiny Vespiquen somewhere. That sounded like a wet burp, kid. I'm actually wondering how long before a Pokemon game incorporates that into their programming. If they do at all, it would be interesting to see. Because if I remember correctly, like, that's a whole issue in the United States, but I don't know if it's a major divisive issue in Japan. I know Japan historically has had many characters in anime, manga, and video games that are what you would term a gender bender, where they look like one, but they're in actuality the other. I think I remember the names right, but the first experience I really had in knowing what that was, for me, was an anime called Baka in Test. And I think the character's name was Hideko. And he was a guy, but, like, everybody always referred to him as a girl because, like, he was so overtly feminine looking that they just referred to him as a girl. And that was back in probably 2010. And, like, I had never seen or heard of that before, so that was my first experience or introduction into characters being gender benders. Hideyoshi! Oh my gosh! Marie knows exactly who I'm talking about. Yeah, Hideyoshi. I got the first 2 letters right. No, first 3. Or 4. Hideyoshi versus Hideko. I loved Baka. It's such a great anime. I love it when people get references and stuff. It's awesome. One of the characters shares Navi's voice actress. That's cool. Yeah, there's some bigger conspiracy theory revolving around Sword Art Online, Dot Hack, and Baka and Test being all in the same universe at different points in the time with the technology and stuff. Minami. The flat girl with a crush on the main character. That's funny. Alright, and I've also got sidetracked and missed a few comments here. Shiny Dex for Aquatic. Yes, I am working on a Shiny Dex, Shiny Living Dex. I'm working on all games simultaneously. Right now I'm just working on a Jirachi because I started this hunt way forever ago. But concurrently I'm working on the Scarlet and Violet Shiny Dex. Just got a Shiny Kitty Cat. Sprigatito, we're looking for 2 more so that I can get the shinies there. And I'm going to be doing them in Dex order. But I think I'm going to elect to skip them if they're findable or obtainable in another game. I think Generations 1 through 4 I'm going to do in BDSP, and I'm just going to slam them out. And then from there, I just have to do whatever Pokemon are available. I do kind of want to do them in Dex order after I complete the Scarlet and Violet Dex. Is that Itachi that you changed your profile picture to, Naruto fan? I did not know that, Tavon. So, you once joined a stream that was Stream versus Stream's Shiny Hunt, where 2 streams and their chat Shiny Hunt, and 1 Shiny was 1 point. So, how did they verify the chat's Shinies that they found? Sasuke? Yeah, baby does have a cough for some reason. He probably inherited my lovely allergies. It's probably what's going on there. Oh, gotcha. That's actually pretty cool. I once participated in a shiny hunt with Slinky Graves. I barely won that one. It was in Pokemon Legends Arceus, and it was the first to get 3 shinies, I believe. And of course, Shinx was one of them. Because Shinx is always a shiny. I can't get on Pokemon Legends Arceus without finding a shiny Shinx. I have referred to Shinx as the best boy one too many times, so naturally it just is drawn to my game. I do want to play around with shiny hunting a Chimchar in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, or not, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. But at the same time, there's just so many better ways to go about getting one. Like, the egg hunting method is far superior to that because you don't have to spend minutes grinding for one. Chimchar is easy. Yes, yes. Oh, I finally got around to shiny hunting some of the Paradox Mons Lagia. And I'm pleased to say I got a shiny Screamtail and a shiny Fluttermane in Scarlet and Violet. While hatching eggs, of all things. Problem with shiny hunt streaming those ones is I don't know how to quantify encounters to do a ticker for them, so it's like more like a timer how long it takes you to find them. Like, doing actual encounters kind of is a great way to gauge the difficulty of it. Like, oh, it took me 7,000 encounters. But with this one, since you can see that they're shiny in the overworld and you're just running around looking for them, I don't know how to quantify that. Iron Valiant is pretty cool. No, I cannot Shiny Jirachi, and rather Jirachi in general, just doesn't exist in Scarlet and Violet. It can easily be done for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and I have already done such. Just count how many sandwiches it takes me to find a shiny. This one took me 6 sandwiches. I think Shiny Arceus was actually going to be my next giveaway, ironically enough. It was going to be Shiny Arceus in Volcanion, and it was supposed to start yesterday, but with the bots being dead, yeah, kind of can't do that one. A Gallade Ribbon Master. As opposed to your Gardevoir Ribbon Master. Do it, Lagia. Beat Pokemon Coliseum again just to get a Vraltz. The thing that I like about Gallade, or Gallade Gardevoir and Iron Valiant, is Iron Valiant, at first glance, appears to be a future copy of Gallade specifically, but I think it's more an evolution that merges the two together. Like, I think Iron Valiant isn't a future Gallade, nor is it a future Gardevoir. It seems to be having a lot in common with both. Never started, because start over a new game every year is incredible. It is. Victor SH, I mean, if you invested the money into doing this, you're in it like a minimum of $350, if not tapping out at $420. I would definitely do the hunt. But then again, if you don't really want the shiny that bad, the time wasted is way more precious than the money spent to get there. Oh, it's a mix? Okay. Yeah, one of the magazines even says so. That's actually pretty cool to know. Did not know that. Connor, I do not know the answer to that question. I don't know when the bots are going to be back up. The Sysbot developers have not updated a new patch release since Pokemon Home, since before Pokemon Home came out. So, and that came out like, what, June 1st, June 2nd, somewhere around there. That's a month. This is the longest I've seen for an update to happen for Pokemon Home to be added and integrated into the bots. Even with Pokemon Legends Arceus and Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, I don't think it took this long. So I don't know what's going on with the development. I'm not smart enough to program and develop this myself. I know there were people doing bot giveaways for Pokemon Home Mons, and they had it working before this new update. I don't know what they were doing or how they were doing it. I have an idea. But with this new update specifically, the pointers that help the game connect to Sysbot, they were changed. And so I know that one usually takes them about a week to fix. And they may rush out a release of Sysbot that actually works with this new version sooner before they get home compatibility working. I don't know. I just don't know enough information about what they do to develop it. I really just use their program that they're nice enough to distribute for free, and I run them on my Discord server for you guys to have trades, and here on the YouTube channel as well. And realistically, the only reason why I accept money and donations when you guys do them for running the bots is so that I can get more. However, really what I need to be doing for the remainder of this year and next year is start saving that donation stuff to put it towards the next series of systems that Nintendo is eventually going to be putting out. I want to see if I can get about $4,000 set aside to be able to buy the next generation of consoles. And I want to be able to get quite a few of them at launch, because those are the ones that are going to be first hackable, and there's always a way to hack them. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Laggy. It takes the secondary typings of all of them, so that checks out and makes sense. Like, I definitely try to be as honest, humble, and straightforward as I can in regards to Sysbot and the programs that are used to run the bots, because I do not want to take credit for other people's work. Like, I do not have the programming skills to get the bots up and running. I am looking to learn how to compile it from source again, and like, I used to be able to compile it from source and make changes after the fact, but they changed how it was compiled a little bit, and that's throwing me off for sure. Oh, that was warm, wet, and not really wanted. Thanks for that, kid. Toxic? Yeah, I do. I could do a data corruption method that lets me save before my encounter, but I don't really want to do that. And why don't I play on 4-speed? Haha, would somebody in the chat please tell this poor innocent soul the struggle that we're dealing with here. Lagia got it covered. Why is it not 4-speed? I'm sorry, Toxic. That cracked me up. Yeah, I'm not doing an emulator. This is all on original factory firmware, hardware, you name it. I haven't messed with PKHeX on this at all. I don't have an R4 card yet. I am going to be getting one, though. Heavens no. I'm going to feel really dumb if it can, though. But this is running on the original game. I will find in the options if there is, because that would save so much time if it was possible. But to my knowledge, it does not. Oh, that just changes that frame. Oh, we can have some galaxies. Tetris. Whoa, trippy dude. I'll go with that. Screen size, normal, full. Yeah, I can set a timer, but that's about it. Oh my gosh. For some reason, Lagia, I cannot process what AFAIK is. Text speed's on fast. Battle scene off. Battle style set. We'll make those changes at the very least. As far as I know. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I should have known that one. I should have been able to read. Struggling over here. Okay, dude. We're going to, while that does its thing, clean myself up a little bit. Yeah. He kind of spit up all down my leg. Super great. All right, Angles. Well, thank you for hanging out with us thus far, and we'll look forward to seeing you back. Like, I knew what it was. My brain definitely was not processing what it meant. Like, because I've used that before. Usually the one I go for is if I remember correctly. Alpha Pokemon and their IVs is a elusive mystery to me. Is it not generated until after? Okay. I think the only game that IVs are tied to shiny status or not is Generation 1 into 2. Which, unless you're playing on the Virtual Console version, there's no way to get those into your home anyways. Yeah, Tavon, you definitely misunderstood what Lagia said. Another way of saying what Lagia just said is that any alpha Pokemon you catch will always have a minimum of 3 perfect IVs. If it has 6, that means you're extremely lucky. It is possible, but the last 3 are going to be random. Meaning, it could be crap, it could be good, or it could be best. Basically, instead of having 1 out of 32 to the 6th power possibility of having a perfect Pokemon, you have 1 out of 32 to the third power of having a perfect Pokemon. If I did my rough math estimate correctly. Because it's a 1 out of 32% chance that you're going to have a perfect IV for HP. It's also a 1 out of 32% chance you're going to have a perfect attack IV. So on and so forth. But if you're given 3 of them for sure, your other 3 are going to be randomized after that. And I believe that's 1 out of 32 to the 3rd power % chance of that happening. I could be mistaken. Right? Bottle caps are indeed a thing. I mean, basically the simplest form of it is in Pokemon Legends Arceus, you're going to have a significantly improved chance of getting a perfect, shiny alpha Pokemon. Because your odds are halved or multiplied by 2, depending on how you want to look at that. Yeah, that's fair, Lagia. Y'all should settle it with a Pokemon battle. I would never settle anything with Lagia with the Pokemon battle. I like winning. I think I beat Lagia a total of 2 times. Yep. Lagia beat my poison team with a team of fairy fluff. But to be fair, I'm pretty sure you were the water gym leader before that, and I narrowly beat you on that one. Then what were you before Fairy? Only did Fairy? Then I've never beaten Lagia. Rip me. Klefki. Klefki did things. Klefki was not kind. I think the sad thing is, I was prepared for your Gardevoir. Does it, like, randomly know thunder moves or something? That Pokemon sent him into a downward spiral. Oh, that's great. Foul play. Yeah, those fairy psychics are no joke. We don't have fairy ground yet, do we? If we do, I can't for the life of me remember what it is. Oh no! I went out of order! Gonna wipe the map of your Gimmighoul and be done with it? Yeah, basically. Don't get me wrong, though. Gimmighoul is a tremendous ally to have on your team for sweeping raids. Oh, good old Puffsuki. Hey, Lagia! When we finally get full home capabilities for the League, do you know if Puff plans on coming back to be the Dark Gym leader? I noticed that Tenny had been asking for permissions for the League and stuff. You're not in a server anymore? Yikes. Oh. What happened there? Wait, you also said 2, implying that there's others. Did others leave the server too, or is that 2 referring to me also? Because I'm definitely not in a server. Gotcha. I was like, hopefully something didn't go down. If I get a shiny starter, I will be trading it to my copy of Pokemon Emerald. Not gonna lie, I'm actually hoping for a shiny starter. I think that would be legit. Oh, ow, Mudkip over there hitting like a truck. I don't think I'm gonna win this even with a potion. Yeah, I would never throw away a good shiny. That's fair, Lagia, that's fair. I mean, that's pretty similar to the experience of him leaving my server, so, I mean, that makes sense. said he didn't want to be mod anymore, so I took him seriously at it, and then he basically pouted about having the mod taken away and just started causing mischief, so I kicked him. And then after that, he kind of just went off the face of the earth and won't talk to me to try to close the situation and rectify it. No, that is not the button I wanted to press. Even though I'm sure it's not going to be shiny anyways, but I definitely don't want to restart before finding out. Because wouldn't that suck if that was? I think the Iron Coat can be purchased at, like, one of the Delibird stores. Gotcha. The one in Levincia, Electric Gym, whatever town that's called, is a good bet. Hopefully, we'll make it to 80 encounters today. I definitely feel like I've done more than 14 encounters, though. Woo, my memory's actually working for a change, Devon. Yeah, I've been making videos for 3 years. Technically since 2017 in reality, so just about 5 years, but I deleted my original video because I was dumb. It was me and my buddy playing Nidhogg's 2 on the PlayStation 4, I believe. It was actually quite funny. I should have left it on there. But since at the time I wasn't really trying to do a YouTube channel, I deleted all videos that I did before I officially started working on the channel, like actually trying to make it do something. So the earliest deal I have on my channel is a Let's Play for Link's Awakening, I believe. And then it dives into Sword and Shield. I'm not sure which one I did first. But yeah, we got some Link's Awakening. I think that's my oldest content. And you can tell. But Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, or sorry, Sword and Shield with the DLC and all that stuff, that really marked when I started really pursuing after subscribers and started, you know, building the channel and watching it grow. And it was a long road. Like, it took a year to get to 600 subscribers, I think. And then after that year, we got to 1,000 pretty quickly. 2021. Yeah? Really? Yeah, I mean, if you made it yourself, that's pretty good, but I hope you know, like, those icons are really small for me. Like, I can't really see them the greatest. They're like a quarter of an inch by a quarter of an inch on my screen. Oh, I don't have any ill will towards Puff either. Like, I'd invite him back and even put him on the mod team again if he came back and, like, would actually talk with me. Like, I wasn't... I didn't demote him out of punishment. I mean, originally, taking away his mod status was a joke because he was saying, I don't want to be mod. So I was like, okay, cool, click. And then it, like, lost it from there. I'm like, okay, that's how we're gonna be. It's just a joke, bruh. But yeah, I don't have any ill will towards him. I did actually like Puff. I didn't like that he tried to be a Biddy replacement. I think that was in bad taste, but other than that, like, he was good to have in the server. Good to talk to. Most of my interactions with him were good ones. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that definitely didn't help the situation, but you can't be bullying people. And it was... He crossed a line that started going down the bullying route. Like, I am almost constantly making fun of Fortnite players, and, you know, even going so far as to officially, well, jokingly, I should say, ban talk of Fortnite in my server. But I've never, like, outrightly attacked anybody for liking the game. He started attacking Dean as a person for liking whatever game that was. Genshin. And it became like a personal issue of being asked, hey bro, like, I don't think that you're being funny. Stop giving me crap about this game. And when that continues, that's when it crossed the line into, okay, now you are officially bullying. You have been asked to stop. Hey, Jason. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for stopping by, and you have a great night. Yeah. Which is something that I would have warned him for anyways, given that as a former mod, or mod in that case, or whatever, he should have known that spelling that way was a violation of one of the rules. I would have warned for that anyways. And yeah, and the warn was significantly after the fact. And that one I had discussed with Dean about maybe not being the best idea to retroactively apply a warn. But yeah, you're right, Lagia. With the series of events and how they happened, that situation definitely was not handled the best. But when you don't give somebody a chance to fix it, that creates a bigger problem. It went bad very fast. It did indeed. Yeah, he won't even accept my friend request so I can, like, actually apologize and get it fixed. So, like, at this point, it is on him. I have reached out more than a few times to be like, hey, dude, like, want to fix this? Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, it's obvious that he's not interested in going back, or else he would be back by now. Because, yeah, like, he could easily come back. That would be... He's not banned. Yeah, I removed the ban the same day. It's like, after I cooled down a little bit from my interaction with him in the DMs, like, I went back through and removed the ban, because, like, yeah, that's not necessary. But, yeah, he just doesn't want to come back. I have never even heard of that one, Naruto fan. I would assume at some point, though, you watched Naruto. judging by the name. But no, that whole mod experience and whatnot, like, really just shows that there's a couple different types of people, and some prevent the ability of closure as a way of inflicting pain and punishment upon the other person. And that's one thing that I definitely pride myself in, is if I screw up, I have a pretty good track record of admitting, hey, yeah, I screwed up, and I want to make it right. And I've come across more than a few people that will not allow you to. And it's because psychologically, that's the power they have over you. And they don't want to let it go. When you're in a position of somebody owing you apology and you refuse to allow them to do so, it's a power trip. And it's the only power that you have over that person, so you wield it with an iron fist and don't let it go. I just made my mom scream. Ah! Ah! That's funny. I'm pretty sure my first official anime that I watched was probably Baka and Test. Like, I mean, obviously I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, and they're anime, but, like, are they really? But, like, Baka and Test was my first, you know, obvious this is for sure anime. And then it spiraled from there into, like, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and all that stuff. For sure, Lagia. And, like, without getting into, like, religion specifically, just more of a general spiritual nature of a person's psyche, if you will, and you know, just their how you think and perceive and be as a person, as an inner peace type of a thinking, more of like a Eastern way of thinking. Like, there's something to be said for making amends that brings inner peace, and that's what that stems back to, is the power they have over you, not letting you apologize and make amends, prevents you from doing so in certain capacities, but you are able to eventually get over that and get inner peace yourself. Just be like, you know what? I tried. And that's all you can do in some cases. It wasn't Sarah K, was it? Okay, good. I mean, that one's okay, and I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this. It's either Sekirei or Sarah K. I think it's Sekirei. And it's one of those obvious harem animes where nothing ever really happens, but it has actually a really good story, you know, until they stopped making it, which really made me irritated, because it's like I went through, you know, all of the overtly perverted crap to have a story that's unresolved. And it's more of like a teenage version of Zatch Bell. If you've ever heard of Zatch Bell, Basically, you have these 120 or 102 Momotos that come to Earth. They battle it out to find the King Momoto, and then they go back to their world. All that fun stuff. Sarake is like that, but with female fighters, essentially. And it was told in a better format than Zatch Bell was, so I got really into it. And then it just stopped before their battles concluded. Sekirei? Okay. Which eventually you did watch, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's awesome. You are the first person that's actually known what that anime was, I feel like. So yeah, hopefully I did the storytelling justice in some form. You know, they come to Earth, they gotta find a human to unlock their powers. Those powers are unlocked through various means, usually forming a bond or relationship of some kind with said human of the opposite gender, and then from there they battle it out to decide who is going to be the king of all of the Sekirei and whatnot. But I'm actually quite stoked that I got in on 3 of the last greatest anime before they were like super hyped up. Sword Art Online, My Hero Academia, and Demon Slayer, I all managed to get in like season 1 before it got way overhyped. So that's something that I pride myself in, is being able to be in on that before the hype. Pokemon but waifus. Yeah, basically. Basically. Hey, Zanelia, welcome. Yeah, a bunch of nerd talk up in here with anime and stuff. This is the Weeb Central. I used to have a running list of anime I've seen, but I think I've since deleted it. Oh, let's find out. I think I cleaned up my Google Drive and was like, I really don't need the anime watched list. But, oh, I still have it. Oh my gosh. I still have it. Oh my gosh, Dr. Stone was so good. Yeah, I got in on episode 1 of that, and it was excruciating waiting for each episode to come in. I love anything that creates a world and then explores the mechanics of how that world is operating. I just think that's the coolest thing. That's why Log Horizon, Sword Art Online, and Dr. Stone are some of the greatest anime shows that have ever been made. It's just they get you invested in the actual creation of the world and its workings. Like, hey, this thing happened that completely derailed science and we're trying to figure out stuff again. That's just so cool to me. Or, we're trapped in this online world with no sense of rules right now. Let's build a society and rules to help us coexist. Yeah, I still actually need to watch Alicization. Or Alice Nation, or whatever. I've seen, like, part of that arc. But I wanted to get fully resolved before I watched it, because I know there's some weird stuff that happens in there, and I didn't want to wait for the episodes to come out. I have watched Rosario Vampire. Yes, that one was actually a pretty good one. Also has a weird, abrupt ending, if I remember that one correctly. And I gotta figure out if that one was the one with the 4th progenitor in it or not. I need to catch up on that one and see if anything has been produced on that one. The problem with a lot of anime is it's designed to get attention to the manga so that you go and buy the manga, but, like, if I see something first as an anime, it drives me nuts trying to read the manga for it. Let's see. Pokemon Generations 1 and 2, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Kill la Kill, Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, Sword Art Online, Attack on Titan, Akame ga Kill, Avatar, Golden Time. That one's a really good one. Full Metal Alchemist and Brotherhood, Baka and Test, all of the Naruto except for the new stuff. I've seen all of Soul Eater, some of Bleach, all of Death Note, Sekirei. Oh my gosh, another great one. Kenichi, History's Strongest Disciple. That one is hilarious. I am very sad that that one did not finish to completion, and the voice actor for Miyu died. That's super sad. A lot of Ichi. Also, Nisekoi is a great one that also really needs to be finished. I'm hopeful that Season 3 will actually happen sometime. Evangelion. Truth be told, I think Evangelion is the first or second anime I've ever watched. I was referred to them the same time that I found Baka and Test. So that one's really good. Another great one is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? That one's super funny. Hunter x Hunter, Fairy Tail, Blue Exorcist is probably the more raunchiest one I've watched. Oh, Strike the Blood. That one is another vampire-related one. That one is the fourth progenitor one. And I actually need to check to see if Strike the Blood has had any continuation. Ultimate Hitman Reborn. That one's hilarious. Student Council Discretion, Seven Deadly Sins, Black Butler, and Rosario Vampire. Those are all of the anime I've seen prior to 2021. I don't know if I've watched all of Hunter x Hunter because if I remember correctly, it ends at some random point throughout the series. And I think I've seen everything that's been out, but I know it's nowhere close to the complete storyline. Also, to those that may be interested, actually it's 5:03. That was my last Jirachi hunt, but some really hit in the feels anime movies. A Silent Voice. That one will make a grown man cry. Your Name, phenomenal. And Weathering With You, also extremely good. Good stuff there. And as far as anime shows, Golden Time is one that I highly recommend. You will feel things for that one. But it's 5 o'clock my time, so I do got to stop to get some stuff prepared and ready. Hopefully one of those things is going to be the giveaway in lieu of the Scarlet and Violet raid bots, or Scarlet and Violet bots running. I'm going to try to do it on my laptop and put the raid up for Gimmighoul for as long as possible, so I will be re-kicking off that raid. So, yeah. Thank you guys for stopping in, for hanging out. We got a good 16 encounters done, and I hope to see you guys around the next time we stream one of these things, probably on Tuesday.